This is things you might not have heard. I am Jake Living Payne, and I have for you in the queue 8 news stories from yesterday. And pop culture news. You told us the stories you want to chat about. They include more Donald Trump saving women, whether they like it or not. Yes, he said those words. Also, McDonald's may be in bigger trouble over this thing with the burgers. And Wicked, great reviews. We'll talk about that. And 5 other stories that you vetted as worthy of talking about. Now, we'll explain what the vetting process is, how we pick the stories for this here program. But first, remind you that you can get all the details about us, the Conversation Project, at our website. This is conversationproject.com. And of course, email us with your comments, complaints, and concerns. We'll take them all at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. If I've not said it yet so far, it is Friday, November the 1st, 2024. Everyone seems to have a Halloween hangover in this house. Made too much candy, way too much trick or treating. But we're going to slug through this thing anyway. It almost didn't happen, to be honest, but we are here for you. We must produce this for you. The stories that I will give to you, these 8 stories, no particular order, but their engagement scores had a chance of getting them in here. We'll explain how they kind of got more relevant and less relevant throughout the broadcast, if it makes sense. Starting off the top with DJT, Donald Trump had this vow to be the protector of women, and here's a direct quote because this is where it gets important: whether they like it or not. How did this come down? The same rally in Wisconsin where he's wearing the reflective vest that he wore while riding in the garbage truck in Wisconsin 2 days ago. So yes, this is technically 2 day old news, but you can only get so much out of so much. And when Joe Biden does the garbage thing, it delays this garbage. During that rally, a line that Donald Trump used was that he was going to protect women. He would be the protector of women. In fact, he did a back and forth where he does talking to his people like, "Well, sir, they wouldn't like this." And so he said he's going to be the protector of women because, and he said that even though he said his people wouldn't like it when he said that, but it's what he said at the end of the line, whether they like it or not, which is usually where things come to head. Essentially saying that if you can read that into it, the way Vice President Kamala Harris did, that women don't know what they want, what they need, and Donald Trump is going to protect the women from themselves and from whatever else is out there. Now, that's where things get a little dicey because whether they want to or not. It's also the kind of words you hear from people who are, abusers, which let's not forget, Donald Trump is actually convicted of abuse. We'll leave it at that. Now, this exchange of back and forth between Harris and Trump, essentially going over the rights, a lot of this looking at protective rights for reproductive rights, but the rights in general for women and safety in the current political state. This is a big, big deal, bigger deal than maybe even Trump believes when he says these words. So everything is important. Now, I had a video months ago, and I keep bringing it up every so often. As much as Trump doesn't want to look like he's losing, it's almost as if he's saying just the wrong things and he can't help himself because unfortunately Biden says the wronger things to make it worse. He's saying just the wrong things to turn off just enough people who can see through this or just to piss them off so that he will actually lose. What's the end game? I don't know because losing is a terrible end game for him with all the other things that he can make go away if he's president. But it doesn't seem like he really liked being president other than being able to hang out with the queen so much, the last time. And it only seems like he's running for president again because he doesn't look like a loser and, you know, jail time. This is an interesting take on things. I think I have an interesting take on things, interesting look on things where it looks like he should be either running away from this thing or just literally blowing out of the water. But it's tied because some people just don't like Harris, and some people actually like the way things sort of look back when he was president and think they can take advantage of that, which is how things work. But it's almost like he's saying just the right amount of things that are wrong to piss off just enough people who will not show up or vote for Harris instead. Observation. Hopefully, straight down the middle, if you will. Headline for story number 2. LA County sues Pepsi and Coca-Cola over their role in ongoing plastic pollution crisis. This is an interesting story. We pulled it late from the Los Angeles Times, and so because it's a big deal there, this will grow more legs over the weekend and next week once we get past an election on Tuesday. But Los Angeles County has filed a lawsuit against PepsiCo and Coca-Cola, alleging that the companies have misled the public about the recyclability of their plastic bottles, downplay the environment and health impacts of plastic pollution. Lawsuit claims that companies, both of them, have engaged in disinformation campaigns promoting single-use plastics as environmentally friendly and recyclable, despite knowing the plastics bottles are not recycled at any meaningful scale. If you haven't figured out yet, recycling is one of the biggest scams that we have put upon ourselves, but we keep believing it because it makes us feel better. But recycling at any real scale just isn't out there. The county seeks to stop these deceptive business practices and demands restitution for customers as well as civil penalties. Broader trend where state and local governments are going with environmental groups to actually fight the powers that be and hold the corporations accountable in their roles, specifically in plastic pollution. This one was basically filed in July, actually. But they actually looked, the study came out in July where the judge looked at the stuff. And now there's a real lawsuit against Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Not everybody. RC Cola is not getting any of this heat. But essentially, the big ones with big money to show what's going on. Essentially, plastic bottles don't get recycled at all, if anything, to any effective use. So why say it? Marketing is all marketing. Speaking of marketing, when you try to make a living and you're living off your personal brand, you got to market yourself, got to get out in places. Now, the biggest issue with that is when you work for a particular person and you're trying to market yourself other places, doing the thing you do, it gets to be a little iffy. I work at a college, I work at a university, and I also do these video things here. I don't market myself as the college guy doing video things to do on other people's things. I market myself as this here or for college stuff. Brian Stelter, not exactly the same thing. He's apparently spending all day trying to get booked in other people's programs per people behind the scenes. The former host of Reliable Sources and now the person doing the Reliable Sources newsletter and popping up in hits here or there on CNN is essentially trying to keep his name out there in the general public and his face out there as well. Since he's only doing a newsletter, it's faceless, not quite voiceless, but it also is just a newsletter for CNN and then gets, sporadic hits at the moment for CNN. Essentially, they're rehabbing his work. He's trying to get more time on other places, and he's spending all day trying to get booked in other people's programs, which is questions about actually why he's actually there. If his job is to just be a media analyst for the world, why is he getting paid by CNN? Now, remember, he was knocked off his block by the shakeup under then CEO Chris Licht, who was looking for essentially ways to be more politically neutral, and Stetzer, who's made a lot of money writing books directly about how Trump is bad and Fox is bad and then people are bad. And of course, people blasted him for his show not being so great. Got caught in the crossfire and was fired before Licht was, of course, fired as well. Now he's back, not so much as retribution for what Licht did, but it is a way to fill the gap because the guy that was left from the bag for Stelzer left his own personal thing, and he himself is booking on lots of different things as an independent media analyst, which is what Stelzer tried to be, but wasn't really that great at doing it. We'll see what happens with him at CNN, at wherever he's going to be, and what he's going to do going forward. A bit jealous myself personally of him and getting the career he had, but I'm going to say also just from the outside observer, he blew a lot of things. He messed a lot of things up and can't quite find a way to fix it. Hopefully, he can fix him so I can find my own spot as a media analyst on a network fairly soon, I hope. That's what I'm shooting for. Let's talk about McDonald's and E. coli as they now face a proposed class action lawsuit. Not quite yet, but looking at it for the E. coli outbreak. This for the quarter pounder burgers that, of course, has sent people home sick, and one person so far, as I know, has died from the actual infection. It was filed on October 29th, so literally 2 days ago, put in court for Chicago federal court, and alleged that the contaminated slivered onions used in the burgers caused illness among multiple states. Plaintiffs Amanda McCurry and William McMichael Kraft claimed they experienced E. coli symptoms after consuming the burgers and see damages exceeding $5 million for affected customers nationwide. Not just for them, they'll split it across the people who pull in for this lawsuit. So it accuses McDonald's of negligence and failure to ensure food safety. So essentially this 75 illnesses reported, 22 hospitalizations, one death across 13 states. Essentially, you'll get a notice on TV or in the mail or an email asking if you've been to McDonald's, did you have E. coli, did you eat a quarter pounder, file in for this lawsuit, file in for this class action suit, and if they win the $5 million, they split it evenly minus legal fees. So you want to get on this thing right here, and you actually legitimately one of those 75 people who actually got in the illness go for it. They will vet you because if only 75 report it, then 80 folks can't get the money. It's how that's going to go. We pause from the news for a moment to get to you. We're looking for some help. We need you to show folks that what you're watching right now, what you tuned into right now, is worthy of keeping up with. So help us with this, whether you're watching it live or in a replay field. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a heart, give it the face emoji of your liking, and it will show the social proof that it's being engaging. And the small click is for you, a little small effort helps us a lot. More people discovering what we do. Then make sure you share it with some other folks who enjoy the stuff, family, friends, anyone who likes this type of stuff, newsy stuff, quickie stuff, maybe my opinion. If they might actually like my opinion. Share it with folks and get more people in our community so we have more people engaging in the conversation. And if you're not actually subscribed to this, if it's streamed up, popped up in your feed, or if someone shared it with you, if you're not clicked yet, click the subscribe button. And if you would like to, go ahead and hit notifications so you know when we come up with this thing going live. We go live every weekday morning at 5:50 for this thing here, plus do clips and hot takes throughout the day so you can get things in the feed. So if you like what we're doing, like the video, share it with some folks who might love what's going on, and subscribe so you don't miss out on a moment of what this is. These are the moments that we share together. We won't be sharing many more moments with Bob Costas because he's giving up the job, the business, or at least in baseball. You'll probably still see him doing plenty of analyst stuff, plenty of popping up on news, talking about things. He has earned the gravitas, whether you like him or not, to give his opinion on a lot of things because he's covered a lot of things. A real-time journalist, not just sports stuff. But he has announced he's retiring from MLB games with the backlash to play-by-play coverage. A lot of it against him in general, a lot of it against just the way this is being done. But he's stepping down from 44 years of doing baseball play-by-play, and he's 72 years old, so he can probably use a bit of a break. He confirmed the decision to the Athletic, stating he plans to discuss more about it later on, but began in the early 80s. Believe it or not, the 80s was 40 years ago. And when NBC had games going on, and he did that with them till 2000, the World Series, popped in the MLB network, and some stuff back and forth to cover things, and Turner Sports. His last assignment this season was Kansas City Royals versus New York Yankees in the ALDS. He's won plenty of awards. He said plenty of things. He's still planning to do Olympics, as far as we can tell, or at least the Olympics for NBC. Still planning to do some Olympic sort of commentary going forward. But the play-by-play for baseball is now officially. Well, he hadn't quite announced it officially, but basically he's telling folks he done, he gone, he done with baseball. The Grammys done with CBS after 54 years, leaving the network, and will now be broadcast on the Disney networks and streaming services. It's not immediately, it's not happening right away. Little time, little transition. But the shakeup is a surprise for many, but should not be, as the streaming service people, the Disney folks, if you will, and all the streaming people are fighting, the companies are fighting for content for the platforms. Streaming is another platform, and although streaming also usually shows up on the network itself, streaming is a platform that needs things to be fed, because if you stream it where you want to, people who aren't watching network TV can still get access. So it's a 10-year global deal to see annual music ceremony has simulcast on ABC, on Hulu, and Disney Plus through 2036. So that means in 2027, the Grammys will not air on TV. So, but that there was so I'm sorry. Starting in 2027, the Grammys will start airing on ABC TV, not CBS. So CBS still has a couple more years of the actual Grammys going forward. They're not giving up yet. Contract's not done yet. But going forward, ABC will be the home of the Gramophone Award, and then simulcast through the Disney Plus platform, assuming Disney Plus still exists at that point in time. John Oliver and Seth Meyers are among 1,250 WGA members calling for PBS to reach a deal with writers. The Writers Guild of America, the 1,250 people members in that guild, including folks like John Oliver and Seth Meyers, have signed a petition that want PBS to settle an ongoing contract negotiation with its writers. There's a writers issue, not quite a strike, with PBS and the folks writing for it. WGA highlights that the PBS, a publicly funded organization, should uphold fair treatment standards and fulfill contract demands that the WGA argues are essential for workers' rights. Despite significant progress in the interior industry for labor agreements, the petition claims that PBS has laid its finalization terms with the WGA, representing writers who contribute to its content, and this call to action as a public role, emphasizes the public role of PBS and the importance of labor protections, also aligning with recent industry-wide movements to improve working conditions for writers and on other media professionals. Essentially, PBS is using its publicness to get out of spending the dollars it must need and the infrastructure must do to protect its writers, who get the same protections from the unions as the people that do movies and TV. We'll see how this one plays out fairly soon. And this one, oh, we shall see play out very soon as Wicked early reviews unite in their verdict of a film riddled with scandal and controversy. I know Wicked is a crazy, crazy thing going on in this house. I've seen the play. I've seen the play. We'll go with that. But the ladies in the house, and there's nothing but ladies in the house but me, so pray for me, please, are very much in agreement that Wicked's going to be the movie event of the year for them, as a much anticipated movie is going to also generate a swirl of controversy with many of the reviews out there. Fans are actually divided over the filmmaker's decision to split the beloved Broadway show into two films, two films, two films. It's getting the Dune treatment. It's getting the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse treatment. It's getting the treatment that people are kind of pissed off about. It's getting the Horizon treatment, except it's not 6 4-hour films. It's 2 films. It's one big story that's a really long story, so they're splitting into 2. Wicked and Wicked 2, Electric Boogaloo. But the adaptation is also sparking some discussion among the Wicked enthusiasts and some supporters expressing fears that the unique magic of the musical can only be prized in one big screen, but not in the split up. And of course, there's a lot of issues with the posters. Having posters that don't have the two together is also a controversy. People think a posters with Cynthia Navarro, who's playing Elphaba by herself, doesn't quite work things out. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. I don't get it. But it's not about me. Oh, it's so not about me. It's about the ladies in the house and the ladies who will love this and the Broadway dudes who love it as well. And whether it actually works as a twofer as opposed to one big old long cinematic event. So Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, who play the title stars, the stars of it, both Glinda and Elphaba, are going to do their best to put on this performance. I know I am so sick and tired of this Target commercial where they're singing all the time, so I'm done with it. We'll see how far we'll have to get to be done with it officially. Not soon enough. Let us now move on to our teaser story. Teaser story is where we split from ending with the news stories. They were now the 8 stories that you deem conversational. Now we're going to tell you how they got to be deemed conversational. This is where we tell you what about the feeds and what we're teasing, why we're teasing, and how you can get your say into what we do literally every single day. Our feeds, our links on Facebook, X, and Threads. Threads.net/ this is conversation, x.com/th_conversation, and facebook.com/this is conversation project.com. Every 50 minutes or so, we post news articles, various different sources. And all we're asking you to do is when you're checking your feeds for other things, see what is going on in life, social media, see what see what we're doing, see what stories you have out there, engage in them if they're worthy of getting into, whether because you think they're great stories, whether because it just makes you mad and you want to have more talk about it. Like it, love it, hate it, share it, engage in it. Do what you can do. The higher engagement score, the bigger chance to have to talk about it. Come Monday, remember, 2 days off from this show, so it'll be Monday. We'll talk about 10 full stories in the list, 30 stories we'll choose from over 90 stories in the kitty. So with 3 days full to get through, we'll pull top 30 stories that look interesting, and then we'll pull 10 of those stories that makes the best narrative, hopefully, for Monday. Will we talk about this one? It has a chance, it has a shot. You're going to see. It's a long shot. But NBC lost a lot of money amid the Olympics, and Comcast is mulling splitting up the company. Now, a lot of conversation we have with folks in the family of the conversation has to do with the business of media and news itself, because a lot of the talk is how news just kind of sucks. It just is what it is. NBC itself, the larger corporation, or Comcast, Universal, whoever we want to say owns them, lost a lot of money in Olympic coverage and has been losing it for a while. They've done fairly good coverage with all the streaming, all the extra stuff, so you can get anything you want to when you want to. The problem is this year, starting off with that Lord's Supper debacle controversy and all the other weird things going on. Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart, they just could not save the whole thing. Blame Reagan as well. It's partly Reagan's fault as well. But when we talk about the actual headline of the story that we're bearing the lead, and Comcast is looking to split up NBC into more pieces. NBC Universal, the streaming stuff, they're looking to chop things up to make some money, maybe sell some pieces off that aren't being so profitable. Will we talk about that till Monday? We will see. What did we not talk about today that was in the teaser for yesterday? Hallmark's search for Hunky Mr. Christmas. So if that's on your list to talk about, we ain't talking about it here. So you have to go Google it, search for it, the Mr. Christmas reality show that Hallmark's going to do, which is starring Melissa Pearman. So if you want to know more about that one, you got to look that one up yourself because we y'all didn't want that one. But y'all want to talk about Comcast? There's a long shot. It's a long weekend, but we'll see. We're talking about Comcast in the next edition. It's simple. Go to the feeds, Facebook, X, and on Threads. If you see a headline you like, engage it. Click on something. Share it with people. Do what you need to do. And, comment on it. Comment on it. That's awesome. Have conversation in the actual page. That will show us a story is worthy of chatting about come Monday. Let's go to our spotlight sponsor for today. And spotlight sponsor is the Chess Store. The Chess Store offers up chess, blah, blah, blah. The Chess Store offers up chess and chess accessories and beautiful chess sets and great chess accessories and great customer service and great prices. Chess is a good thing to have. Chess is an awesome thing to do. So chess is what you're looking for in your accessories. And you get great prices, great customer service from the Chess Store if you use our link. This is a conversationproject.com/the-chess store. Now, you get great customer service and prices regardless. But if you use our link, we get an affiliate commission for you using our link. We get some help. We get we get paid for it. It's that simple. We get paid for that one. It is something that we can use. We can use the help. We can use the assistance. We can use the cash. We can use that, and we get a small commission from you using any of our links. So we ask for you to go to our page, look at other sponsors. All the sponsors are affiliate links, so they all give a small commission from the buys. And this one in particular, because Chester will take good care of you. We've been talking about them all week long. We've actually had a sale going on through till yesterday, Halloween. So Halloween sale is over. We still are sort of in our Halloween coma of candy and all that sugar rush. Want to get one more day of supporting the Chess Store and the Chess Store. So take care of that and take good care of yourself and your love of chess because it will take good care of you. There you go. Now we're going to do a bit of a pivot. This was not expected, and so I'm having some issues um, getting there. So my vamp is totally regardless. But let's go ahead and go to the promo part because it's basically part of the promo, and I will try to type and talk at the same time. Apologies if I'm very bad at both, because I tend to be not so great at either. So we're going to do our promo for ourselves. In a moment, we'll talk about the partners specifically. We usually just do a quick hit on partners and then give going forward. But go by our website, which is thisisconversationproject.com, and see what you can see. See all about us. See what we do at the Conversation Project because it is a big deal. We do a lot of news stuff, a lot of conversation stuff, trying to find out what's going on in the world of stuff and trying to find out what's going on in the world of stuff, things going on, so we can have good conversations with all of you guys. We can also go to our feeds, Facebook and X, and you can conversate with us. Tell us what stories are worthy of having a conversation with. So do like that. I'm distracted. So I'm gonna really pivot hard. This is gonna be really weird, so bear with me. So yeah, I'm sorry. We just aren't doing this one well today. So um, we're going to do all the buttons, do the things because I should have worked on this earlier. It should have been a better transition. It just is. I am sorry. It just isn't working. So we're going to share this web browser window here. I'm going to type Amazon.com. And in a moment, I'll share it once I get to the page. and we're going to take a look at um, the producing live on air, folks. Always is what it is. Why we need more partners so we can have a real producer and we can do this stuff in a bit more of a, let's say, professional manner. Manifesto. This is definitely not something that's worthy of asking for partners, but we're going to ask for it in a moment anyway. All right, so here we go. Put it, bam, and eventually you'll get there. Now, what network? Manifesto. I published another book that came out on Tuesday or Monday, actually, a week out from the election. So the election's going to happen in 4 days or so, or 5 days or so. We have an election coming up, or 4 days, 5 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days because you don't count Tuesday. And on that day, we will put in our final cast of ballots for who will be our next leader of the free world, if you will. That's what we call the president because they have all that stuff. You see, the purchase thing, I purchased some copies personally so I can make sure they come out perfect. So that's me. I bought my book already. How about you? Now what network is a website at nowwhat.network where you can see more details and get more info, a part of the More Better Media network we have, morebettermedia.com, on what to do to keep your elected officials accountable to you. Tips on what to do, including things like be informed, show up for meetings, vote when you can, on how you can actually be a better citizen and making sure that those citizens in charge of us are also better citizens. This is the most awkward and just worst way to present this, but I thought I had something planned in there. Halloween got in the way. I'm sorry. Go to Amazon.com and click on the links or search for the Now What Network Manifesto or look for the links that are inside of their feeds that go to the book or go to the video that explains the book a lot better, explains the process behind this. This is something that's been a 2-year project that this year I decided to put a little extra effort into it and put something promoted. The book is promotional product for the website. There's no fee. There's no membership. It's just information. We're gonna have a newsletter. We'll have some chat back and forth. That's what's going on there. So going along for this project to say support this one. More better support, more better graphics will be put out there next week, and definitely Tuesday we're gonna have a big old thing about what to do going forward. Because next week is essentially our reckoning, and so we're gonna have to figure out how to keep either Harris or Trump accountable to us, despite the fact that we all know they are basically all in this for themselves. And with that, if I can press the right button and get to the right screen and refresh all this stuff that has been sort of really out of whack, sometimes you just got to do it live. Sometimes it's about making it happen as it happens. And I hit that button, then hit that button, then I hit that button. And it's still Friday, November the 1st, 2024. Magic of that. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. If you've been watching this live and wonder how come this guy is really doing these things this way, yeah, I wonder myself. But if you're one of our partners, you understand what's going on behind the scenes. Thank you to Harold Braxton, also Colby Green, Eldon Kidd, and Joy Winters. They are cup of coffee level members. That's $5 a month. And the spare change member is Joy. She's $1 a month. $16 a month doesn't seem like a lot, but you can make it more. And we do what we can with that $16. That pays for a couple little things. But if you want to get into this thing to directly help us out, visit our sponsors page, visit our partners page, go to our website, this is conversationproject.com, and visit those pages and help us get things funded so that I can have somebody press those buttons and not hijack the show of my own show. It helps a lot. Also, go to the website, find out more about us, and you can, of course, visit and follow the feed so we know what stories to talk about come next iteration. We will do our best. We have some, I have some family engagements to deal with this weekend, some funerals that have to be dealt with this weekend. So we're going to see what we can about doing a later edition of the weekly roundup. We'll see what we can do to get that recorded. Maybe we'll get some recorded today, but we're some family issues. Two funerals, 2 weekends in a row that my wife's family has been dealing with. So I've been doing my best to support her and those families. So a little love and prayer for those things going forward. In the meantime, prayer and love for us going forward so we can keep things going here, keep lights on, because come Tuesday, democracy may be dead. We shall see. Love you so much. Mean it. Step around for all the fun stuff, all of the short clips, and everything coming on. Oh yeah, we will click the button and turn things over. The fun stuff's happening. Obviously, a little late. We'll have the fun stuff coming up and things you might also know down the live feed in mere moments. So stick around for that, or see that in your feed as well. Love you. Mean it. Ramble, 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 ramble. Let's do this thing again Monday.